So we're here with Rob Macdonald of Southern Silver. Rob, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Peter. It's a pleasure to finally be in person at,
Likewise.
At an MIF.
It certainly feels good.
Yes,
absolutely. So Rob, Southern Silver has a flagship project called Cerro Las Minitas. It's located in Durango, Mexico. Can you tell us a little bit about the jurisdiction and why that's important for your project?
Well, we think that we're in a very favorable jurisdiction. It's located, the project itself is located in southeast Durango. Durango is a very mining-friendly state. And the actual location where we are, we're on the edge of the Altiplano, so we're not in the mountains. It's a very safe jurisdiction to be operating in. Yes, we're surrounded by producing companies. And so there's a local population that understands the dynamics of mining, is quite supportive of our activities. And so between all of that, and in terms of the safety, support from the state authorities, whom we have met on multiple occasions, as well as support from the local population, I think this makes it a very, very good place and jurisdiction to be working in.
Excellent. Who are some of your neighbors in Durango where you're located?
Well, we are surrounded by producers. On our eastern boundary is Hecla's San Sebastian project. On our northern boundary, Fresnillo is exploring their El Titanic claim. And just off of our claims, about 6 kilometers away, Avino is mining gold and silver out of epithermal veins at the Avino mine, and that they have just now recently purchased the La Preciosa project from Core Mining. It was formerly a Core Mining project, but now Avino has just purchased that. So they're now, and that project is located about 25 kilometers to the west. So again, it's a very active area, very mature area for mining. And again, it means that the local population understands the mining aspects. And so again, it's a very favorable area to be in.
Yeah, I guess that's important when it comes time to work towards eventually developing a project. You want to be in a place where people have a history of mining, understand the sector, are supportive, and you need to ultimately get it permitted. So those are certainly big concerns, and it sounds like those boxes are checked off.
Yes, we're moving along. I mean, it's as the project, as we get a better concept of how the project is going to be developed, we'll start moving a bit more aggressively down that road in terms of permitting and further engagement with the local ejido and that sort of thing. But we're sort of waiting until we get at least the initial PEA produced for the project. And then, as I say, that will sort of set out our marching orders in the scope and the size of the project, and then we'll take it from there.
So Cerro Las Minitas is actually quite a sizable project and quite high grade. Can you tell us a little bit about how that sets it apart from some of the other silver projects that are available for people to invest in?
Well, I mean, at this time, on a silver equivalency basis, the Cerro Las Minitas project is at least considering our peer group, one of the largest undeveloped silver-based projects in the world, and certainly in Mexico. We've been able to increase that resource quite significantly in this last update. We've increased the silver mineralization within the resource as well. Silver alone, we're in both indicated and inferred categories. It's totaling 115 million ounces. So on that basis itself, makes it a very significant project. There's very few silver projects that are out there that are over 100 million ounces of silver, and plus we have a significant resource in base metals associated with that. So we have a large project. It's looking at underground mining scenario. It's sulfide mineralization. We've worked out the metallurgy, so that's now becoming sort of a clear path for production and development there. And really in terms of the size now, at around 32 million tons, it's one of these projects that will have a long mining life. I can't say precisely what that's going to be. We're still working on that, but it's something that major companies may be interested in, or could very well be interested in part because of what will be an extended mine life. And I think that really separates the project from what might be some of the smaller, higher grade, higher margin deposits that might only have, 5-year life or something like that. And so I think that's one of the things that really does separate us.
So in a recent update, the resource grew. Can you tell us to what extent it grew, and when might we be able to look forward to a PEA on the project?
Oh, yes, I'll be happy to. We were able to increase the size of the deposit by 33%. So as I say, we went from about 24 million ton deposit to just under, it's 31.9, so about just under 32 million tons. The resources increased by about 26% on a silver equivalency basis. The silver increased by 38%. And so we've increased the proportion of silver within the deposit, which is very good because that's one of the better payable metals that we have in the deposit. So I mean, those were all great milestones that we've managed to achieve. And so we've identified 2 new deposits. And so we already have some engineering work done on the deposits that were identified and counted in 2019. We now have to do some of that work, the engineering, finalize some of the metallurgy on the eastern deposits, and then bring them into a PEA. And we are looking forward to having that done by the second quarter of 2022. So maybe April or May timeframe is I think realistic. Good.
We've talked a lot about Cerro Las Minitas. It naturally dominates the talk from Southern Silver. There is the Oro Copper Gold Project in New Mexico, and maybe we can just wrap up with an overview of that.
Okay. Definitely. Yes, Oro is a project that we've had in the company since I think around 2007. And we've spent about $3 million in exploration on the project over time. It's a large laramide porphyry system. It's right on the northern end of the Faja de Plata, which is the belt of silver that extends down through northern Mexico and is the belt where the Cerro Las Minitas project is located. But Oro's sort of overlaps with the belt of silver as well as the Arizona copper belt. And it's on the eastern end of that. And so this is a large laramide, copper, gold, moly porphyry system. It's a big zone system with about a 3.5 kilometer radius. We've already done some testing on the distal gold targets. We've done some testing in the skarn system, and now we've identified some new targets in the porphyry target and copper magnetite skarn target on the project. We're in the very final stages of permitting right now. We have our drill contract signed and our contractor available to start in the very earliest of 2022, so January 2022. And we're planning to do about 4,000 meters of drilling as an initial phase of exploration to test those new targets. So we're really looking forward to that. We think it'll give our shareholders a little bit of exposure to copper, which is doing really well these days. And so we think it's again a way just to give some copper exposure to our investors.
Right. It sounds like we can probably look forward to quite a bit of exciting news flow over the next weeks and months. And thanks, Rob, for that great overview on Southern Silver. We look forward to following the story.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Peter, and thank you all.